We're solidly into the cold part of the year, and because of that, I thought it would be nice to have a place to put all of my firewood. And considering that I had these 2 old pallets lying around, I thought they would make the perfect materials to build a firewood rack. I started by removing some of the excess boards and nails from the worst of the 2 pallets, which would end up becoming the base. I then cut the section that I wanted to use as the base, so I could get an idea of what would need fixing. I added an extra board on top to shrink down the size of one of the gaps, and removed one of the bad quality boards on the bottom. I also needed to remove one of the broken stretchers on the bottom, which I opted to replace with another one from the other half of the same pallet. From here, I added some leftover pieces of pressure-treated wood to serve as the ground contact points. After cutting these to length and making sure everything was firmly attached together with nails and screws, the base was just about finished. The next step was getting 4 more pieces of pressure-treated wood and cutting them to specific lengths. Attaching them onto the base will provide the framework for the rest of the structure. I then took the time to finish processing the first pallet before sorting all of the boards by width. I then used these boards to provide structure to the sides, starting with the widest boards at the bottom. Then, I salvaged 2 pieces that I had used previously to build the oil barrel grill from rust to act as the roof for the firewood rack. I then attached these 2 boards to the top of the rack and made some additional scaffolding to hold some of the smaller boards onto the top. At this point, I finished breaking down the better of the 2 pallets to get all of the remaining boards I needed for the project. After tightly fitting everything onto the roof, I started to work on the back. And I managed to use just about everything I had left to completely finish the firewood rack. And here it is, the fully finished firewood rack. And this was made only using free wood. It was a pallet and a half, a couple pieces of pressure-treated wood that I got for free, and all of the hardware was reusing some nails from the pallets, using some screws that I got from other things I've disassembled, and using all of the large bolts from a swing set I took apart. So every single piece of this was absolutely free, which is the best kind of material to build with. Now, it might not be the absolute prettiest firewood rack, but it really doesn't need to be. It's meant to sit outside, survive the elements, and hold firewood. So if you have the need to make your own firewood rack, feel free to give it a try. This was a pretty easy project, and it was very fun and also quite rewarding. But that's about all I have on this project, so thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.